What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Jose Rodriguez, also known as the Credit Dude, and I am the owner of gotcredit.com. So today, what I want to do is bring you my very first episode of Be Great Every Day. This used to be a series that I used to do with our clients in the program called the Got Credit Academy, and I'm still going to be doing something very special for them. But what I wanted to do was replace Mindset Monday and bring something to the general public and pretty much everyone on social media and online, so you can know a little bit about who I am and what I've been through, okay? So Be Great Every Day is gonna be a space, all right, where we can talk about mindset, failure, growth, and rising through the things that ultimately were meant to break us, all right? So I took a little bit of notes on what I wanna talk to you about because I wanted to make sure that I stood on course and that I didn't ramble and go off topic and talk about something that is not what I want to talk about today, okay? So this series is my way of showing you that no matter what happened, no matter how old you are, and no matter what mistakes you've made, you still have time, okay? So today's message is one that's been sitting heavy on my heart for a very, very long time, which is it's not too late to be great. All right, guys. So it's unscripted, but I have a little bit of notes to kind of get you guys going and let you guys know a little bit about my world, a little bit about who I am. And this might be the very first time that some of you guys are watching me and listening to me. So let's just go ahead and dive right in to my topic today of it's not too late to be great, which is a little bit of a tongue twister, but being that this series is going to be called Be Great Every Day, I figured, you know what? This would be a great starting point for some of you out there that think maybe it's too late when it really isn't. So the first thing I want to talk about is, society and people, and sometimes even ourselves, we try to put a clock on us, right? And even certain things that we do, but when in reality, it doesn't really work that way, because a lot of us think that either our time is up, that we have more time, or people try to say, don't even do that, man. It's there's no point of doing it. So this is technically how I see it with doing my research and with, researching this topic that I wanted to talk about today. Let's talk about the false timelines that we've been sold either in school, colleges, and work. So pretty much what it is graduate by 22, you're successful by 30, and then you're retired by 60. And that's normally how society tries to paint a picture of how you and I are supposed to live. And it's kind of like a little box, even though the clock that they put on us, it's also a box that they try to limit you to live according to the way that, in a sense, society wants you to live. So I think that these are really false narratives and also false things that we've been told since we were little. And I really do think that because of this, okay, I think three things, all right? I think people give up early, meaning they quit early, and they just feel like, it's not worth it, or I'm too old, or I'm too young, which I've seen a lot is people give up on their dreams, which is sad, because sometimes people discourage us from our dreams, and it might even be you doing it to yourself, which is okay, but hopefully after watching this video, you don't do that anymore. And then also, you feel like you're behind. I think I see this one a lot too, where people think that just because somebody else got started sooner than them, or because somebody is more successful than them, that they feel like that their life will never measure up, or that they're behind. And I think that quitting early out of these three is on you, right? If you, whatever it is you want to do, start a business, travel the world, go to college, quit your job and start something else. Honestly, man, like if you're not a risk taker, then this might seem like a different language to you, and it might not apply. You might be okay with living by the clock that society has put us in, and doing the things that are comfortable. Sometimes when people quit, it's not because they necessarily want to. It's because they feel like they have to quit. And it's in whatever it is, whether it's quitting at a sport, quitting at a job, quitting in a relationship, quitting on yourself. And it doesn't always have to be that way, okay? And when you give up on your dreams, I mean, it's a lot of things that can happen or not happen when you give up on your dreams. When you give up on your dreams, you're letting society and everyone else know that what you ultimately will go on after, honestly, wasn't even worth it. Or it's like, see, I knew this guy or this girl wasn't going to do it. Look, they already quit. They give up on their dreams. So you have to honestly believe in whatever it is that you're going to do. Because if you don't, how do you expect other people to drink that Kool-Aid with you? You know, if you give up on your dream, here's the thing. It might be the wildest dream. I mean, looking back on it, people probably thought that, the person that invented Turo was nuts. The person that invented Airbnb was crazy. There's a lot of things that, there's Uber, there's like so many things out there that over the last 6 to 10 years blew up, and that person didn't give up on their dreams, which is one of the most important things. And being left behind, I mean, I think somebody said it to me best. It was John. He said, like, comparison is like the killer of like dreams, or like comparison. I forgot the exact quote because it just came to me. So John, if you're listening to this, I do remember what you said, but pretty much what he was referencing is don't compare yourself to anyone. Because when you feel like you're behind in life, that means that you're comparing yourself to the next person, and you think you're behind when in reality, you might even be farther ahead than that person, but you just give that person more ammo. And don't quit. Don't give up on your dream. Don't feel like you're behind. And I promise you that you'll look at life a little bit differently. Okay? So here's the ultimate truth bomb when it comes to my number one. Okay? So we're still at number one. All right? Is greatness doesn't have a deadline. It has a decision point. So you ultimately, as a human being, as a father, as a son, as a brother, as a sister, as a wife, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, as a worker, as a boss, you have to ultimately define and decide, am I going to be great? Am I going to allow anyone else to take me away from me being great? There was a movie it was called You, Me, and Dupree, where Owen Wilson, he used to say, you're Carlness, is your name with ness at the end. It's whatever it is you want to be. And when in reality, as cheesy as that sounded, it's kind of true. You know what I mean? Like, greatness doesn't really have a deadline with time, with age. And it's ultimately when you wake up and you decide that, you know what, it might take me 5 years. It might take me 10 years. It might take me however long to do whatever it is that you want to do. But you kind of do what my hoodie says. You just got to keep going. All right. So this brings me to number two. All right. Late bloomers who have become legends. All right. Colonel Sanders. This is one of the things that I first told my dad when I reconnected with my father. My father's birthday was just on Saturday, turned 65 years old. Colonel Sanders launched KFC at 65, after 65 years in failures and working at odd jobs. So my man was 65 years old, and he invented this chicken. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure there was other chicken out there. You know what I mean? The recipes and things like that. But he decided to go ahead and follow his dream. And KFC is now, if I'm not mistaken, I know it's a national brand. I don't know if it's a global brand like McDonald's. All right. But, if KFC is your thing, more power to you. You know what I mean? There's some things in there I like. I'm not so much of a fast food guy. The next one is Samuel L. Jackson. He landed his first major movie role at 43 years old after battling addiction and doing stage play for decades. Like, I'm about to be 42 this weekend. Samuel L. Jackson just got his start a year after me right now. And I'm like, that's crazy. Pulp Fiction, Samuel L. Jackson is now Nick Fury, which is pretty dope. If you're a Marvel fan, I'm a huge Marvel fan. All right. Think about it. We wouldn't have Nick Fury, or Samuel L. Jackson would be Nick Fury. if he gave up and he just said, you know what, acting is just not for me. You know, Vera Wang, for all those ladies that got married, she didn't enter fashion until 40, and now she's a global name. You know what I mean? And one of my favorite ones, I wouldn't say because of how he did it, but just because of how everything really came about. If you haven't seen the movie The Founder, it's an amazing movie that just talks about a lot of great things and how to overcome, you know, adversity, be resilient. As Ray Kroc, you know, when he said he took the McDonald's from a single location to a global brand in his 50s. Now, listen, we can argue and talk about how he did it, and he was devious, and he was, you know, took it from the brothers. He shook their hand, and he promised them a 1% royalty for the life of McDonald's, and hasn't paid them anything. And, you know, at the end of the day, my man saw a dream. He loved the name McDonald's. He believed in it. He didn't quit. He saw something that other people didn't see. And McDonald's right now is the biggest real estate company in the world, and it's crazy. You know what I mean? So they weren't late. They just were on their own timeline. And when you really put things into perspective, you're the only person that can dictate what timeline you're on and when your greatness clock starts. All right. I honestly, number three, I thought I missed my shot too, until I decided I wasn't done. You know, I went to the Marines. I worked as a contractor on Fort Monmouth. Anybody that is from New Jersey knows where that's at. I then worked for the Veterans Affairs, and I just felt like, you know, it just wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And it was honestly the moment where it took me from the little boy that I felt like I was, into the man that I knew I had to become, because at that point in time when I quit my government job, my daughter was like almost 2 years old. You know what I mean? And I just started my company. And even with starting my company, after 15 years, we celebrated 15 years, February of 2025, okay? I thought it was too late to even rebrand, reshape, and rebuild my company. Got credit. You know, the last 2-3 years, I've been through a lot. You know what I mean? Ups and downs, tribulations, lost friends, lost family. They're still alive, but lost a lot of people in my life. And that's going to be another episode where I kind of break certain things down of how to overcome certain things. But I thought it was too late for me to like rebrand my company. And it's not, because even if you embark on a journey of you being great and you doing something, it's also never too late to rebrand, reshift, adjust, reset, and refocus on some of the things that matter most on why you chase your dreams. You know, I think one of the biggest things is sometimes we chase our dreams, and then we also get stuck and we forget some of the things that are the most important and why you started that dream and why you chased it. For me, I thought that, you know, man, Peyton's about to be 14. You know, man, I wasted so much time. I can't believe that she's getting so old. And shout out to John again. John said, listen, man, there's more years ahead of Peyton than there is behind her. So it's never too late to, you know, do those daddy-daughter dates, to go ahead and do things that you've always wanted to do. She's 14. So I'm like, dang, man, like it was crazy, because after that, it was like a light switch. You know, we take Peyton here, we work out, you know, we do daddy-daughter dates, as long as Kelly doesn't get jealous, okay? And I'm spending a lot more time with her, and we're doing things more as a family. We're taking more vacations. We just came back from London. And there's certain things that I normally would have been like, nah, you know, I don't want to do it, but it's not too late, okay? So one of the things that I felt like I was a failure at, okay, was one, being a father, and two, was leading my company to become the best versions of themselves to help our clients. And it's never too late to reset. So what I did, I sat Peyton down, had a nice conversation with her, told her a lot of my flaws, told her a lot of things, how I felt or what I could have done better. And I'm just constantly working on our relationship. I'm about to be 42. She's going to be 15 this year. And I hope I could be this open with her when she's 30 and I'm older. And, you know, and I never want that to change, but I'm also going to constantly have to reset that relationship too, to ultimately bring it to the next level. Okay. And the same thing with my company. You know, at the end of the day, people work here full time and their livelihood depend on me leading them so we can take this company, so we can serve our clients here at Got Credit. And it's never too late to readjust, reinvent. And as long as you stay the course of what that dream is, like, shout out to my boy JT, because I'm like, man, he was here for New Year's. And I was like, yeah, man, I don't know this whole credit thing. He's like, dude, what the hell are you talking about, bro? You're the credit dude, bro. Like, what else are you gonna do in life? Like, bro, you gotta figure this shit out, because certain things just weren't clicking. And I just thought that maybe I would be better off doing something else. And I thought maybe, maybe I'll do a mortgage. I'll be a mortgage lender. I'll be a realtor. And JT, Jaman, Smiley were in the basement. John, they're like, dude, what the hell are you? You're the credit dude, bro. And sometimes you need people in your life to reset you, even when you think that you're better off and you think that your clock is listen, when you have the right people around you. And ever since January 1st, blinders have been on and I've been at it. So there's no shame, guys, in resetting, restarting. The shame is obviously in giving up. And I would have been very, very sad and very embarrassed to let people know I'm no longer the credit dude. I'm the mortgage dude. I'm the whatever dude there is. But I am the credit dude, and I embrace it and I harness it. I'm not ashamed of it. And it's obviously shameful if you end up quitting, whether it's in business, in a relationship, and most importantly in life. There's no do-overs when you're unfortunately gone. You could get as many do-overs as you want right now, guys. You're still living. Do as many do-overs as you want. Do as many resets as you want. Your website sucks, change it. Your relationship with your spouse isn't the best. Fucking take her out on a date. Take him out on a date. Reshape, repropose. Do what you got to do. Your relationship is not the best with your kids. Take them out on a date. Reset. Do whatever it is you got to do. You don't like the way your business is running. Bring your whole team in and redo everything that you decide. But you have to stay the course. I've been there. I was wanting to give up on me being the credit dude. I thought that was best. There's nobody else like you. And you need people around you so you could be you and you can help them be them. And whether it's the people working for you, your family, your friends, people you go to the gym with, you all have to be on the same mission for all of you guys to be doing good. Nobody could be jealous of each other. You know what I mean? This allows you to end up being great every single day. Because how can you be great, or how can you not be great, and how can you fail in life if you have people around you picking you up when you think you're done? All right. Number 4, comparison kills more dreams than failure ever will. And that one is deep, man, because comparison will kill dreams. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying before with what John told me. Okay. If we look at, oh my God, that person on Instagram, oh my God, I can't believe they're on vacation again. Oh my God, they have a new car. Oh my God, they did this. Oh my God, I can't believe that they have a new dress. Listen, man, stop comparing yourself, because number one, they probably just taking photos from online. They're probably on a company trip, ain't even paying for it. They probably rented a car for the grandest stunt, ain't even theirs. It's probably their cousins or something like that. And the outfit, they probably bought it on Poshmark and returning it. And if they did that, who cares? Let them do it. What does that have to do with what you're doing? Don't compare yourself to the success of others, because 9 out of 10 times, guys, it's fake. Social media, unfortunately, sometimes is fake. Sometimes people are acting, and sometimes people are putting up facades in order to keep up with the people that are following them. And it sucks, okay? When you do that, you silently disqualify yourself from embracing and achieving whatever it is you're set out to do, okay? And I promise you that if you put the blinders, like, listen, guys, it's May. I probably talk to the same 5 or 6 people every single day. And there's other people, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, what's up? I see, oh, man, we're good. Yep. Blinders. Hey, distraction. Nope, you want to go out? Nope, you want I could drink at home? I could eat at home. I don't got to go do that. Blinders. Don't let the distractions, social media, posts, be the best version of yourself, not just every day, but every minute, every second, every hour, for your family, for yourself. Get right, go to the gym. And if you're going to compare yourself to someone, say, hey, listen, man, I love what it is that you're doing. Can you help me? I want to, hey, you're going to the gym. Hey, man, what time you going? 5 a.m.? Cool, man. You mind if you wake me up every day at 4:30? Listen, man, I'm trying to get better. Hey, you going to the networking event? Hey, man, can you pick me up? Because I share a car with my wife. Guys, these are all things that I went through over the last year. I was having people pick me up. I was having people, hey man, me and my wife are sharing one car, man. Is it okay? You know, hey man, I apologize. Oh, I just want to leave the house. You know what I mean? I'm going to compare oh my God, I can't believe I'm not. Guys, there's a lot of ways that you can mentally destroy whatever it is you're trying to do. All right. And social media shows sometimes the finished products in whether it's business, car, relationship, but they don't really show us the failures that built them. So you might be seeing someone and you might be jealous of them, but you might not realize that all they had to go through to do that. And instead of you even being jealous or comparing, you should embrace their success, because even though sometimes social media, guys, is not always fake, there are people out here really hustling, really grinding, and really making a living for themselves and doing things right. And sometimes it just takes, hey man, you know, what did you do? How'd you overcome that? Because I saw 2 years ago, you was ready to give up. You know, you mind jumping on a call with me, man? I'm kind of feeling down. You know, hey man, what's the score of the game? Man, I ain't got time for that. Hey man, you see that football? Listen, I love sports. Whatever you want, you to each his own. But you gotta honestly figure out what is important for you right now at this moment, and then you can go to the game later. Okay? So I would say I'm going to leave you guys with this quote in comparison. It's stop comparing your chapter 3 to someone's chapter 30. Because, guys, there's people that have been doing it longer than us, shorter than us. Everybody's in different chapters, different avenues, different stories. Everybody's doing it differently. There's a credit repair. I'm not the biggest credit repair company. There's a lot of people probably bigger than me. There's a lot of people who have more clients, more employees. I don't care about that. You know what I care about? The people that trust me to help them with their credit, and the people that entrust me in order to guide them with me and my team to the next level. I'm not the biggest credit repair company. I don't want to be there. I want to be that company that people come to that know that I really, truly do care. Over the last few years, I lost sight of that. I lost sight of what was the most important. That's the clients. It's not everything else. You know, sometimes we get stuck into the flashiness or whatever the case is. And what matters ultimately are the people that are trusting you with whatever product it is that you have, whatever service it is that you have. Do it to the best of your ability. Be honest, be humble, and don't lie, and let people know that you're giving the most value that you can. And if they accept that, listen, be the best damn thing in whatever it is you're trying to do. Because at the end of the day, no matter what's out there, technology, software, database, people, there's only one you. There's only one person of you. But you can't be you unless there's people around you guiding you and helping you, and you're also pushing people to. Now, don't be selfish and don't just take. You also got to give too, but make sure you give to the right people, because sometimes giving to the wrong people can drain and mess up all your hard work. All right. So my last and final thing that I want to talk about, number 5, okay, is greatness is a mindset, guys. It's not a milestone, because you could be great up here and you could be good up here, failing and getting knocked down every day. You could be great up here and not being able to do reps. You can't run, you can't walk, you can't do push-ups. But as long as up here, you know that you're great and you're trying and you're busting your butt and you're doing what you got to do, no matter how old you are, don't worry about what other people are doing. But instead of saying, you know what, man, hey, man, can you spot me? Hey, I'm trying to lift up this weight. Like, believe it or not, when I was starting going to the gym consistently over the last few months at Easy Fit, shout out to my boy Jaman with the same birthday, I couldn't lift 245s on each side. I really couldn't. Like, just whatever. I just never bench weight. I was, just whatever. And now I'm lifting 45 on each side with a 10 on it. Sometimes I put a 15 and I might do 1 or 2, and and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. You know what I mean? I might not get it up all the time in the way that I want to, but I'm still up here. I'm great, and I'm working on my pull-ups. I'm working on my push-ups. I'm working on everything else. So once I do 10 pull-ups, now what? I'm done? No, I got to keep going. I got to now do 20, now do 30, now keep going. And they just keep being consistent with that. Because if you're not, being great means you doing the same thing over. It might be boring, okay? And it might be, oh my God, this is the same thing every single day. But guess what? There are people that do the same thing every single day and achieve the results they want to achieve. And to some people that might seem a little crazy, okay? But every single day I'm making sure I answer my DMs, make sure I'm replying to my emails, making sure I kiss my wife, making sure I go to the gym with her every day in the morning, making sure I take my daughter to school every morning, which I wasn't doing. Guys, my dad came into my life November of 2022. Within those first 60 days of him being here, he was like, man, this is great, man. You get to take your daughter to school every day. Something I never was able to do with Emily, your little sister. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? He's like, you don't take your daughter to school? I'm like, nah, man, I don't. He was like, how are you going to be a great dad if you don't take your daughter to school? Now, here's the thing. Some people don't have the opportunity. Some people, I had the opportunity. So if you don't have the opportunity, you got to go on the bus. Listen, but I'm here every day. And I'm like, damn, Dad, you know what? You're right. He's like, I wish I was able to take Emily to school. I was like, damn, man, you didn't take me to school. You know what I mean? But the thing is, guys, is as long as you are doing everything that you have to do consistently, you're putting in the best effort and you're doing it from the bottom of your heart and you have great intentions, man, that's being great at the end of the day, guys. You might be able to do one freaking push-up. But if you're doing that push-up, man, and you're trying and just get to 2. The next thing you know, you'll be at 3, then you'll be at 4. And don't worry about everybody else doing that many push-ups, man. Do the best dang on 5 push-ups you could do, and I promise you, it'll do something for here that it'll spark motivation in other people, and I promise you that, okay? You don't need $1 million, all right? And you don't need 1 million followers to be great. Greatness is ultimately what you decide that part of your life is. And it doesn't matter. You could be watching this, you're 10, you're 15, you're 30, you're 45, you're 65. Just do it, man. As crazy as Nike sounds, it is as like, no, not crazy, but I mean, as crazy as it sounds, just do it, you know? You're right, just do it. So you have 2 choices, guys. And you need one of these choices every single day in order to be great, okay? You need to show up every day and you need to get better. So that's 1 and 2, all right? So 1 and 2, all right? So show up every day and get better every day. That is the secret sauce, the cheat code to ultimately being great every day, okay? Because it's never too late to be great as long as you show up every day and you get better every day. And that's in anything. Guys, you could be 60 years old and you want to run a marathon. Show up every day, get better every day. And by the time you're 65, or 62, even earlier, you know what? You want to work at your marriage, show up every day, get better every day. You're failing tests, show up every day, get better every day. You know, you don't like the way your hair is, you don't like the way, you want to cut your hair, you want to dye it, you're in a relationship that you don't like, you feel like you're failing, you feel like your job sucks, you feel like you want to start that business, you feel like your credit sucks, you feel like whatever it is, guys, and you just repeat these 2 things to yourself every single day when you wake up. You show up every day and you get better every day. That will ultimately lead you to success in whatever it is that you want to do, and ultimately is to be great. Okay? And one of the last and final things I want to tell you with this, number 5, okay, is you're not waiting on permission. You're waiting on action. And action starts with you. If you could also embrace that, and I want to repeat it, you're not waiting on permission. You don't need permission, okay? You're waiting on action, and action starts with you. So if this resonated with you and you felt like I'm talking to you specifically, you have to apply that in at least just one area of your life. Don't try to be great in 50 million things, okay? Just try to show up and get better with one thing. And in 30 days, maybe add a second thing, maybe add a 4th thing. My biggest thing, I was drinking Coca-Cola like it was crazy. Cut it out. Going to the gym every day. Added yoga, added stretching. So it really is ultimately up to you, all right? All right, so that wraps it up. I really do appreciate you for watching my first episode of Be Great Every Day, which was It's Not Too Late to Be Great, all right? So the truth is, most people don't fail. Honestly, they just stop. And I think you could probably resonate with this one way or another. And if this applies to you, just remember, just keep going. And sometimes it's that simple to just keep going, all right? So just show up every day and get better. Those are the two choices you have. There's no other choice you have. So there's no quitting, there's no stopping. It's literally just show up every day and get better, all right? So honestly, if you're still breathing, you're still thinking, and still feeling that tug on your spirit to do more, then your time hasn't passed. I think that's so powerful to honestly understand that if there's still a little bit of fight in you, you still got that dog in you a little bit, then it's not too late, and it's honestly never too late. My dad is 65 years old, and he's gotten a second chance, third chance. I think it's probably like his 15th chance at life, and he's constantly reinventing himself. He's constantly resetting. He's constantly growing. So it's honestly never too late. So here's the challenge that I have for you this week. And I really want you to take this serious, and I really want you to try to either bring your kids into this, your spouse, your friends, your family, your business, your employees, your boss, whoever the case is. And I want you to do one thing, okay? Just one thing that still reminds you that you're still in the game. And this could be anything. This is going to be honestly whatever it is that you think needs to be done. And I can't do that because those of you watching this video, each of you should have a different one thing to do to remind you that you're still in the game, all right? So if this hits home, I want you to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. And let me know what you're committing to. I want to hear from you. I made this video for you. I made this for me because you never know who you are going to inspire, okay? And remember, that one thing could be starting a business, starting that podcast, making that content, apologizing to your wife, your spouse, your husband, your kids, resetting, growing. It's never too late. All right, guys. So until next time, until next week, remember, be great every day. Peace.